What's up, people? Tony here, and welcome back to another video. And I'm sure you see once again I'm wearing a different shirt here, and this is basically my PlayStation 2 zip-up hoodie sweater that I got. You saw in my last video I had the PS1 one on. This is the PS2 one and stuff. I'll be doing like PS2 games stuff like that, but there will be videos where I'll be wearing the other shirts as well that I've worn in the past, just to get that out of the way. And for today's video, I'm bringing you a top 10 list, and it's been a while since I've done a top 10 list. I mean, last time I made a top 10 list was back in May, and this video is actually a follow-up to that top 10 list that I made. Back in May, I made a video called 10 Best PlayStation 1 Fighting Games, and today for the follow-up, I'm gonna be bringing you my 10 best PlayStation 2 fighting games, and we're gonna go from 1 to 10, 1 being at the bottom and 10 being the best. That's how I do it and stuff like that. Now we got a lot to talk about here, so let's get started. Number 1, X-Men Next Dimension. Now, the X-Men are no stranger to video games and stuff. They've had a lot of great video games and a lot of bad video games, stuff like that. But they had some of my favorite X-Men games are the X-Men Mutant Academy games and X-Men Legends and games and stuff like that. And X-Men Next Dimension is basically in my opinion, a 3D next-gen version of X-Men Mutant Academy 2. And I love the Mutant Academy games, like I said. They're basically the primitive X-Men fighting games and stuff. And this game here definitely improves on that and stuff. While it's not the best fighting game ever and stuff like that, it does have some problems and stuff like that. Like sometimes the controls can be a little bit screwy and stuff and other things. But if you're a go-to Marvel fan who wants to play a fighting game with X-Men characters and you have a PlayStation 2 and GameCube and stuff, then pick this one up because this one has your name all over it. Number 9, War of the Monsters. Now, War of the Monsters, this is actually a very interesting game here because it's not just a fighting game, it's also actually a third-person action game too. But it's labeled as a fighting game and stuff. Now, War of the Monsters is very similar to the Godzilla fighting games, where the fighting part of this, where you pick a monster and you battle an opponent and stuff like that and such. And that's basically what you do. But in War of the Monsters, you also can destroy buildings and stuff. You actually have mission where you destroy buildings and stuff and just do other things. And War of the Monsters is definitely it wasn't exclusive to the PlayStation 2, but recently got released digitally on the PS4. So those of you PS4 owners never played this game before, definitely should check it out because War of the Monsters is definitely one of those games that came out of nowhere, and it surprised me, and it surprised a lot of people, especially people who are fans of Japanese monster movies and Japanese monsters, video games and stuff, and people just like fighting games in general. And speaking of Godzilla, number 8, Godzilla Save the Earth. Now I know what you're thinking. Why did you put Godzilla higher up than War of the Monsters? Well, Godzilla has been an icon since my childhood and stuff. That's why I put it up on this list here, and I put it further up. I put it up on the list and stuff. And Godzilla Save the Earth was basically the sequel to Godzilla Destroy All Monsters Melee. And this was the very first Godzilla game that appeared on the PlayStation 2. It was also on the Xbox as well. And it was a breath of fresh air because Destroy All Monsters Melee was not included on the PlayStation 2, and I don't know why it wasn't, since we had an Xbox version after the GameCube version. That game was exclusively a GameCube game only and stuff, and then it came to the Xbox. But Godzilla Save the Earth definitely fixes that. This game has tons of monsters, more monsters than Destroy All Monsters Melee did, and you got two Godzillas, Godzilla 90, Godzilla 2000, you got Mothra, and you actually play as Mothra this time too, and just a lot of cool ass monsters to fight and stuff. And this is definitely the best Godzilla game ever made, better than Godzilla Unleashed, that's for sure. Because Godzilla Unleashed, oh my god, what a horrendous game that was, especially the PlayStation 2 version. And there was a Wii version as well, but I don't own a Wii, because I don't like the Wii. But Godzilla Save the Earth, it definitely is the Godzilla game that PlayStation 2 fans have been looking for and been wanting it since we didn't get the release of Destroy All Monsters Melee. And it definitely shows that it's definitely an awesome game. They also got some bonus games too, where you can play bowling and stuff against other monsters, destroy buildings in a certain time frame, protect the capital building of Japan and stuff like that. Just there's a lot to do here, and I recommend people picking this game up too because if you like Godzilla and Toho and stuff like that, and if you like Toho monsters like Mothra, Ghidorah, Mothra and stuff, then this game is definitely for you as well. Number 4, Bloody Roar 3, the very first Bloody Roar game to be released on the PlayStation 2. Now, Bloody Roar 3 It is a good game, but just not as good as Bloody Roar 2. That's why this game is lower than Bloody Roar 2, the new breed on this list. Like, of course the graphics definitely take advantage of PlayStation 2's hardware, and the fighting mechanics are still great as well. It's just that the story has been dumbed down a lot and stuff, and there's still no Japanese voice acting, and like, the music is good, but it's kind of toned down a little bit too. Like, there's some pop synthesizer tracks in there, but it's mostly rock and stuff. But it's much better than Bloody Roar 4, that's for sure. And there will be a series review on the Bloody Roar series in the future, just not coming up and stuff. But Bloody Roar 3 is definitely one of those games where if you want the next gen game where you turn into a zoanthrope like animal like leopard, tiger, and rabbit and stuff, then this is definitely go-to here, since Bloody Roar 4 was a piece of shit. But if I have to say that Bloody Roar 3 is definitely the second best, but it's just not as good as Bloody Roar 2, is what I'm trying to say. So, if you like Bloody Roar, then pick it up. If you want a great game in the Bloody Roar series on the PlayStation 2, get Bloody Roar 3. Number 5, Soul Calibur 2. Now, I know I already reviewed this game, but I'm putting it on the list anyway because it's one of my favorite fighting games. Now, Soul Calibur 2, we didn't get Soul Calibur 1 on the PS2 or anything like that because the Dreamcast was on its way out and it was meant to be a Dreamcast exclusive. Soul Calibur 2 was definitely the next game in the Soul series I was looking for because I love Soul Blade, Soul Edge, whatever you want to call it, and I was definitely looking forward to playing the next gen Soul game on the next gen console. And everyone knows that I do love this series, especially with the characters Sophitia, Cassandra, and my buddy Casual Gamer's favorite, Valdo and stuff. So yeah, I had to put that out there. Shout out to my buddy Casual Gamer and stuff. And yeah, Soul Calibur 2, definitely fighting game with weapons. Definitely made by Namco too, since Namco was my favorite video game company back in the day. It had to be on this list, and I had to buy it for my 15th birthday. When I got it for my 15th birthday, I knew I was gonna like it, and I did. But you know, we did not get Soul Calibur. We did not get Soul Calibur 1. Soul Calibur 2 will definitely not disappoint anybody at all. It's not the best fighting game, but it's definitely a great fighting game. Number 6, Mortal Kombat Deception. Now, Mortal Kombat Deception, it was definitely the primitive sequel to Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance. I mean, Mortal Kombat Deception took everything that was great about Deadly Alliance and improved it more and stuff. With this, we got a brand new Conquest mode, which a lot of people didn't like, but I actually liked it because it's basically kind of like free roaming, according to what Big Al called it. Grand Theft Auto meets Mortal Kombat. You can run around people's houses, steal stuff, punch people and such, and you have this big ass quest you can go on and stuff with fighting Kamidoku as the main character Shujinko. And it's got returning characters that weren't in Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance. It's got Cabal, it's got Striker, Nightwolf, it's got Tanya, Jade, Melina, and it's got new characters too like Hotaru and Kira and Darius and stuff, and it's even got a cool ass final boss too, which is Onaga, the Dragon King. And I knew that there was going to be a new Mortal Kombat game, Mortal Kombat Deception coming out since 2003, because I'd been following Mortal Kombat like crazy, and I did know that characters like Cabal and stuff like that were going to be in the game, and my predictions were proven right because Cabal was in it, Sindel was in it and stuff, and had a bunch of cool ass new characters and stuff, and also had some cool ass minigames too, like chess combat and stuff, which I admit was cool, but they also had puzzle combat, which I did not care for and stuff. But Mortal Kombat Deception was definitely the best Mortal Kombat game of the 6th generation, better than that god awful Mortal Kombat Armageddon, and better than Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance. Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance was not a bad game. It was a great game. Just Deception was better in many different ways and such. Number 7, Dead or Alive 2 Hardcore, aka DOA 2 Hardcore. Now, this was the only way to play Dead or Alive 2 for me and stuff, because I did not own a Sega console and such. So, DOA 2, well, I did play Dead or Alive 2 Ultimate on the Xbox and such, but I like Dead or Alive 2 Hardcore more because the PlayStation 2 controller was more suited for fighting games than the Xbox controller was and such. And basically, this looks on par with the arcade version. It's got some new characters, cool costumes. The fighting is a lot smoother and faster and such, and definitely improves over its predecessor, which I didn't mind in Dead or Alive 1, but there was some stiffness in the controls and stuff like that prevented it from being enjoyable at times. And the opponent AI just like kept whooping your ass, and they definitely toned down the AI this time. They toned it down a little bit and balanced it out more too. So that was definitely a plus for me. Number 8, Virtua Fighter 4, the very first Virtua Fighter game released on the Sony console, and definitely one of the best Virtua Fighter games of all time. There were Virtua Fighter games in the past on the Sega consoles, but not to the point where we wouldn't be able to play them, because either if you didn't own a Sega console, you had to go to the arcade and play them, or you were lucked out. But for this, I actually played both in the arcade and on the home console, and they're both pretty much identical to each other and such. And the fighting is really, really fast. It doesn't need to show off any special fancy moves to be great. Virtua Fighter is great on its own if you want to just like punch or kick or do your own combos and such. This game is for you. And it's got one of the hottest female characters of all time, Sarah Bryant, who pretty much made Nina Williams in the Tekken series started that, because Nina Williams was basically made off the idea of Sarah Bryant and such. So that's because Sarah Bryant came first and such. And Virtua Fighter 4 definitely is the best Virtua Fighter game of all time, even better than Virtua Fighter 5 and stuff. But that's just me and stuff. Number 9, we're getting down to the wire here, Tekken 4. Now, a lot of people did not like Tekken 4 because it felt more like a Virtua Fighter game, and the way the fighting moves were all set up and stuff, and the fact that the backgrounds were very small and such. But I don't care. Tekken 4 is an awesome game. I like it better than Tekken 5 and such. For some reason, I like it better than Tekken 5. I love Tekken 5, but I like Tekken 4 more. I mean, Tekken 4 definitely redefined next-gen fighting at its finest and stuff. And we had Tekken Tag Tournament, but we're talking about a canonical storyline Tekken game. Tekken 4 was definitely the go-to there. I'll never understand why people bash this game because of the stupid reasons like that. Small list of characters. Whoop-de-doo. This isn't Tekken Tag Tournament. Tekken Tag Tournament was a compilation of Tekken 2 and 3. What do you expect? What do you expect Tekken 4 to do the same thing? That'd be copying and stuff. I mean, Namco did not want to copy their own game down to the bone. They want to do something different. So of course it's gonna have a small list of characters. And all the voice acting's bad. Who cares? It's a fighting game. It's not meant to be taken seriously. It's not Metal Gear Solid or anything like that. So what do you expect it to be? Yeah, that's my thought. So people who want to actually fairly play this game, pick it up. Don't bash it for the dumb reasons that all the fanboys and stuff that are bashing it for and stuff. Because that's just stupid. Now, number 10, before we get started, may I have a drum roll, please? Thank you. Finally got it right this time, unlike last time. Now, number 10 is another game by Namco, and it's not a Tekken game. Number 10 is Soul Calibur 3. Yeah, I already included a Soul Calibur game on this list, so sue me, but Soul Calibur 3 is definitely the best PlayStation 2 fighting game. Even better than Tekken 4 and stuff. Because it's funny, because in my best PlayStation 1 fighting games list, Soul Blade was number 2 and Tekken 3 was number 1. This time the roles have been swapped and reversed. Now Soul Calibur 3 was another game that a lot of people hated because it was only on PlayStation 2 and a lot of people didn't like that. And this game, yeah, it does have some problems and stuff, like of course like some of the modes are pretty much useless and stuff and not fun to play, but it's the fast-paced action and combat that make this game a lot of fun. They improved a lot over Soul Calibur 2, and they got a great storyline, voice acting is great, the Japanese that is, even better than the Japanese time is better than the Japanese time of Soul Calibur 2. More characters, you can create your own character, even though the creative character system was not that great, they still tried, they still took risks and stuff, and they weren't afraid to take risks. And combat is still very fast moving and stuff. And of course, I gotta give another shout out to my buddy Casual Gamer, because Baldo's in this here too. So Casual Gamer, 2 shout outs for you in one video, so hope you enjoy that there. And Soul Calibur 3 definitely came out just like when the PS2 was like on its way the next year and stuff, and it showed that the PS2 still had some life in it and such. Now Soul Calibur 3, it may not be the best fighting game ever made, but it's definitely the best PlayStation 2 fighting game ever made. So I recommend you guys to pick up any of the games in this list, because you'll be satisfied no matter what. That's pretty much it for this video. Stay tuned, because there's more reviews coming up and stuff, and more Let's Plays and more other things. So stay tuned for that. And if you like what you see here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and join my Discord group by clicking in the link below. Now, I know there are some people who are having trouble with the link. It doesn't work for them. If it doesn't work for you, message me and just give me your Discord name and I'll add you to the group and stuff. That's pretty much all I gotta say. Peace out, everybody, and stay tuned, there's more on the way.